you. Is that the fate you've chosen of your own will? You are Arisen.
Only 11 months after the release of Dragon's Dogma, Capcom have pulled their old trick of releasing a boxed update. But with the addition of Bitter Black Isle, which brings with it a host of new side quests and gameplay tweaks, is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen worth a look for fans of the original? Dragon's Dogma was a bit of a departure for Capcom, moving away from their controlled, corridor-structured game experiences to a massive open world. It was an expansive game, as it attempted to capture the magic of Skyrim. But while it managed to create the open world, it lacked the emergent narrative hooks to draw players in. The core experience remains unchanged for the most part. The original game stands almost entirely separate from the Dark Arisen expansion, with only a few bug fixes, new abilities and items leaking back into the original game. Not that this is a bad thing. Dragon's Dogma was, at its best, stunning, with characters able to nimbly navigate the world and loaded with fluid squad-based combat. But in the same way the best elements remain, so do its weaknesses, with an empty landscape, technical issues and plasticine-faced NPCs offering aimless quests. The bulk of Dark Arisen's new additions come in the form of Bitter Black Isle, a new island in the Dragon's Dogma universe and a place where other Arisen, the Dragon's Chosen Warriors, have been called. While it's accessible from the opening of the game, newcomers will get little from Bitter Black Isle. A few brief excursions into the dungeon will net players a few choice items, but the Dark Island is designed as challenging endgame content for the dedicated to continue their quest. Capcom clearly listened to feedback about the original game, and half addressed it. They've taken complaints like, "It feels too empty because of the vast open world," and responded by making the world narrower, and addressed issues like, "There are too many people with no real personality," by just removing the people. It's a monkey's paw situation, where making a wish will not always lead to the desired results. The world has not been filled with interesting new content. Instead, it's been made smaller to create a more directed experience. While it may narrow its scope, the result is effective. It doesn't repair complaints about the core game, but it does remove the cause of those problems, focusing on what the game does well. It achieves this by making the game more Dark Souls-esque, plunging the action into a vast dungeon, emptying it of all but functional NPCs and cranking up the difficulty. The focus is on all-out combat, and while at times the summonable companion characters, known as pawns, do make Dragon's Dogma feel a little bit like a field medic simulator as you dash around reviving their dead bodies, for the most part it is incredibly satisfying. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen doesn't improve on the original game's content, but it's still a great world to travel through. Add to this the expansion that focuses solely on what the game does well, and you have a game that offers a massive experience at a bargain price. Tune in again soon for more reviews, and remember to visit playdevil.com for all of your gaming news.